sick and tired of your love-hate relationship with wine?
Welcome to the Feel It Alcohol-Free podcast. Hi, I'm Coach Ruby Williams.
And I'm Coach Susan Larkin.
We're two former wine lovers turned alcohol freedom coaches, exposing the lies about alcohol.
And giving you, our listeners, the tools to break free so you can feel lit.
And when you're lit, you'll feel healthier, freer, and more in control of your life.
So relax, kick back, and get ready to feel lit alcohol-free.
And don't forget, grab a copy of our wine-free weekend guide after the show. Welcome to the Feel It Alcohol-Free podcast. Welcome back. So excited to record with you, Susan, again. Yeah, we're having so much fun. Lots of different cool topics. Today's question is really relatable. Here, I'll just get right into it. So I would regularly justify the amount I drank by convincing myself it wasn't that bad because I'd be counteracting the alcohol by running or exercising and eating healthy. So the question is, does exercise and eating healthy counteract the effects of alcohol? And am I alone in this? That's the question. Yeah. What do you think?
Definitely not alone. I think that I used the same. Yeah, absolutely. I exercised as punishment or whatever after drinking and thought, if I could get to my exercise class on Saturday morning, then I wasn't that bad. Obviously, if I could still work out. But there were times, definitely, I was working out hungover and just felt terrible, and not, definitely wasn't exercising at my full potential. And sometimes, you can kind of feel your heart pounding. I mean, it's actually really dangerous to be exercising hungover. So it was a terrible, terrible thing that I was doing. But, I could just tell myself, oh, I'm fine. So I could definitely see how, and I bet you a lot of people do this, use this as a justification. Like, oh, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. My drinking can't be problematic because I still work out, 4 times a week. And I still make it to the gym on Saturday mornings, even if I drank Friday night, which was my night to drink. And then I found out because we had a nutritionist working with our gym and we were doing some food challenges and things like that. And he was like, your body stops burning fat the minute you put alcohol in it. So even if you're lifting heavy, yes. So even if you're lifting heavy weights, and then when you do heavy weightlifting or strength training, your body does burn fat for 24 hours after your workout, but not if you go home and drink beer or wine, right? Yeah. So going out for beers after the gym is completely counterintuitive.
Yeah.
And then, so I tried not to drink on days I worked out, but then that also became like one of those rules that I put into place to try to moderate my drinking and try not to drink so much. And just like all the other rules, sometimes I threw it out the window and it didn't really work. So
it's so funny you said that because it's like a thing out there in our culture. I remember when I did a half marathon, it was like, drinks right after, and there's even like I kid you not, wineries, because I live in wine country, wineries will have like yoga and then wine tasting.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure
it doesn't make sense now that I'm alcohol free, but at the time I totally did that. Like I would like work out more, like, oh, I'm going to work out twice as hard because I drank so much. That story was going on in my mind. But then around the food issue too, because part of the question was, if I eat healthy. So I remember doing like the whole food. Do you remember the Whole Foods diet or whatever? I remember like
Whole 30, right?
Or the Whole 30 and eating Whole Foods and the Whole 30. I remember like doing the Whole 30 and printing out all the sheets and like, okay, eat organic and lots of vegetables and cook your meals and have all the good grains. And I would spend all, time and money and all, checking all the boxes and doing all this. And then I drink a bottle or two of wine. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Then guess what would happen, Susan, is I would then, all my inhibitions would be out of just gone away. I would forget about the Whole 30. I might even go to fast food, which was a big no-no, or eat a big bowl of ice cream, which was, and there you go. Everything that and then the next morning I'd try again. Oh, I'm on my whole 30 diet. I'd eat really well all day. So we want to talk about this. I want to explain it in like a third grader language. Just because.
Oh, good. Then I'll be able to understand.
Well, you want to know? Okay, no. I just think, like, imagine your body is like a car, okay? And eating healthy foods is like putting good fuel into your car, which helps it run smoothly. But drinking alcohol is like pouring sticky syrup into the fuel tank. So even if you're putting all the good fuel in, the healthy foods, that sticky syrup can still mess up the whole engine and make the car run poorly. So even if you eat lots of healthy foods, if you're drinking alcohol, it can still cause problems in your body. So it's so important to only put the good things in your body to keep it running well. So that's my little explanation.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But now we're going to get into it, like the actual, debunking these myths and give you some real solid information. Yeah. Do you want to give us the first one, Susan?
Well, one of the things that just came to mind when you were sharing about food was also what a lot of women do is we don't eat. We don't eat. We drink on an empty stomach. And I would not eat the junk food, et cetera, but I just wouldn't eat. I also didn't eat good foods. And so actually my nutrition was worse because of my drinking, because I was very calorie conscious. And so I was drinking my calories instead of eating my calories, but alcohol has no nutritional value. So a lot of times I find when I'm working with clients, and, they stop drinking for a period of time and they start eating healthy foods, they, gain weight maybe a little bit, but that's because their body wants this nutrition. It's like holding on to it. Like, thank you so much. Give me this, give me some nutrition, and it all shakes down later on, but so I just want to make that point too, because
that's
sometimes
a really
it's
important point.
Yeah. So, but as far as exercise and, oh my gosh, exercise and alcohol. First of all, alcohol is a diuretic. You get dehydrated. As we know, that's one of the reasons why we feel so terrible the next day, is because our body's dehydrated, and it makes it harder for our muscles to recover after a workout. And I need to increase my water anyway. But so also drinking a lot of water is one of the things that, we do as healthy people, but then we drink alcohol and that dehydrates us. So it just also counteracts that other good, healthy choice that we're making of drinking lots of water. So dehydration and then working out when you're dehydrated is really dangerous, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's so true. And then you were alluding to this nutrient, it's malabsorption. When alcohol is in your body, in your stomach, those essential vitamins, nutrients, minerals, they're not being absorbed by the body. So what happens in your body is when you put alcohol in, it's going to stop doing the normal, processing of food, metabolic processes of food, because it needs to attack that alcohol first. Alcohol basically is like a poison in the system. So it's got to do that first out of everything. Right. And it's just really, so you can be eating a really healthy diet, but you're not getting all the proper nutrition. In fact, people that are heavy drinkers, they can actually be malnourished just because they're not, even if they're eating what they think is a healthy diet. And so it's really important to know this. Yeah. What other dangers are there?
Well, just in thinking about the nutrition, it causes your neurotransmitters also not to, when you're malnutrition, right? And so then you go to stop drinking and you feel like you need more resources, right? Your brain doesn't feel like it's working right to get around some of the things that we need to learn and do when we're trying to stop drinking. So that's why tackling your nutrition or supplements in early days when you're quitting drinking is really important to get some of those nutrients back in so our brain can start working right.
Yeah.
Because it really damages our brain. Yeah.
And when I'm working with my clients, I really do. I have a protocol of, what vitamins, minerals, and healthy diet with high protein in the first, weeks or months of your alcohol-free journey. Yeah.
Yeah,
really important.
that's so good. Yeah, it's important. And it's not always, it's sometimes overlooked, right? The nutrition aspect of changing our drinking. Well, speaking of dangerous conditions, which I mentioned when I mentioned like working out when we're hungover, like, you know, I didn't do this, but I remember my husband talking about like they would go skiing, then they'd party all night, then they'd ski until they threw up and then ski some more, like this sort of macho thing about being hungover and still, you know, getting out there and doing the sports. And it's actually alcohol can increase your risk of what's called exercise associated collapse, or EAC.
Okay.
Yeah. And it can also increase your risk of abnormal heart rhythms, which I did have. I remember just feeling like a little bit of an irregular heartbeat some of the days after I had drank, and that has completely gone away since I've become alcohol free. And then I would feel that sometimes when I was at the gym too. And, you know, so I didn't collapse or anything, but, you know, people have, you know, and teenagers, you hear about this, like the football kids that are out there and then they, you know, were drinking the night before and then they're playing football the next day and they collapse, you know, and it could be
about that.
Yeah. And that's so sad and terrible. So there really is a huge, huge risk to working out if you have, you know, if you're hungover, been drinking heavily. So yeah.
I mean, the other major organ that I want to talk about is the heart. I mean, the liver. I mean, we'll talk about the heart, but actually alcohol affects all of us. All
of our organs.
Our skin, our organs, everything. But like most of us have heard, you know, that alcohol causes liver damage, but it's just like I was saying about the malabsorption also, it's just our liver is working so hard to get the toxins out. And then it forms another toxin, which we also have to get out. The
acetaldehyde.
I always can't say that word.
I had to spell it out phonetically, so I spelled it like acetaldehyde.
Okay, maybe I'll try that. I'm always like, how do I say that? But like, you know, just eating healthy foods alone, it cannot prevent the damage to your liver because it's almost double duty. Your body is processing your food, which also, you know, it's processing food and any other beverages. And now it's also processing the liver, processing the alcohol in the liver. Sorry, I'm talking all over my words. Yeah. So I want to bring up that too.
Yeah. Well, and the gut. Remember when we had Amelia on as our guest about the gut health, and she was likening it to like you're drinking like varnish remover that is basically going into your gut and stripping it of all of the good bacteria. So actually, when you put alcohol in your system, it does affect your digestion as well because your body stops digesting the food.
Yep.
It just all goes to, it's like a 3-alarm fire. When you put alcohol in your system, everything goes to your liver. Your liver stops every other function and just processes the alcohol to get it out of your system.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And so everything is affected, including your digestion.
I do want to add some hope here, though. With the
downer.
I know. I feel like we're really doing a downer. But with the liver, you guys, this is so important to understand. The liver is a very unique organ. It can regenerate. Now, it doesn't regenerate if you have parts that have scarred or have cirrhosis, like say there's a portion, but the whole rest, maybe it's half or the whole thing, it can regenerate. So there is so much hope that even if you've been drinking for a long time heavily, that your liver can recover. Well, your whole body can recover, but like your liver can regenerate. I love that. I wanted to share the hope.
Yes. Don't be like, I may as well just quit right now, because there's no hope for me. No, definitely whatever day you decide to stop drinking is the best day. Like the best day is now, today, except for your health, because your health will rebound. Our bodies are so amazing. Think about how they adapted to our alcohol use. use, right? And we still were able to function. And when we take it out of our system, our body does repair itself. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, yeah.
We want to give your body a little kiss.
Love yourself. Yeah. Well, you can't hate yourself to a better place through exercise or alcohol. Like that's how I sort of changed my mindset around alcohol. My workouts were a punishment versus something that I was doing as a healthy thing for my body. So when you're working out to like counteract alcohol, it's sort of like this punishment, right? Mm-hmm. I drank so much, so now I have to go work out and work all that out versus, you're not working out because of what you ate or what you drank. You're working out because it's really good for your body and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel better. And you love your body. That's why you're working out, not you're working out because you hate yourself because you drank, right?
I love that. And my workouts are so much better alcohol free. Like I love my workout. You're right. I think I had a more negative mindset or something when I was working out before. And now I'm all those real endorphins and, really come out. And I have that zingy, like good feeling after a workout. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's another one? What do you think?
Well, I mean, just in the final one that I'll just put out there is like, it does not counteract, healthy eating or drinking or alcohol, exercise does not counteract, alcohol use or your drinking. Alcohol actually counteracts the exercise benefits because again, like I mentioned at the beginning, your body stops burning fat. Hello, who wants that? And it slows your weight and fitness goals, period. Your workouts aren't as good. Your muscles aren't, recovering as well. And it's empty calories. Mm-hmm. So, it's not helping you in any way.
Yeah. And that's a perfect segue to my last one is about it's empty calories, right? Alcohol is empty calories in your diet and there's no real nutritional value. And this can lead to weight gain. Even if you're exercising a lot, it can still lead to weight gain for all the reasons we talked about earlier in this episode. But yeah, healthy eating just alone cannot offset the extra calories and potential weight gain. So just even for that alone, it's so important to that mindset, I'm just gonna play hard and then work out harder or, drink alcohol and then I'm just going to eat super, super healthy, the rest of the whole day. Yeah. It doesn't work that way, you guys. So, I had one kind of funny story that came to mind before we.
Yeah.
OMG. I just remembered. So it's interesting to think about this. I never knew this at the time. I thought when I drank heavily that if I fell asleep, slept for a night, that when I woke up in the morning, I could not be drunk or I could not. But that's not true. And I think that sometimes I did early morning yoga, maybe drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've thought about that before and that I just want you all to think about that. What do you think about that, Susan? Do you think you
I don't know.
Still, because it takes longer than we think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I just think also, now I can smell people. I don't know about you. And I
wanted to mention
smell
that
the
too.
alcohol coming off their body, especially like sweating. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, did I smell?
I think I did. I actually, one time I'm like, what's that smell? And then I'm like, oh my God, I think it's me, it's my alcohol. Cause I can smell people if they're working out, like you can smell like garlic or you can smell alcohol. You can really
coming out of their pores.
So people might have smelled me. Yeah, I think back and
yeah. Well, it was also what came to mind too when you were talking about racing and having beers at the end. Yes, that's just so counterintuitive. But then that's where like athletic brewing was born, is these guys were like these uber, exercise people, the triathletes and all that kind of stuff. And they knew they wanted to be able to train, but also still have beer because they like the taste of beer. And they created this amazing alcohol-free beer.
Yeah.
So they could have both, brewing. Which is so great. And they're usually, because they're at the end
Yeah,
of
my son
races.
has done a sprint triathlons and like many of them. And they literally, you run through the end line and they put like beers in your hand practically. It's so interesting
Yeah.
to me. So that's so cool. That I didn't know that story about Athletic Brewing. I love that story.
Yeah, they're originally here from Connecticut, and we've been down to their brewing place and their tasting room, and had like a little taster of all their beers, which is pretty cool and really fun. And heard their whole story. So
I love that story.
Great, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're at the part of our episode where I love to ask Susan. So, what are you doing to feel lit in your life, alcohol free?
Oh my goodness. So lately I have gotten into pickleball. And my sister's really good. She used to play tennis in high school, and she's actually really good at pickleball. She plays a lot. And I've been with her twice now. We were in San Diego together over the summer. And then recently, the beginning of September, I was visiting my parents, and she lives near my parents. And so we played a lot of pickleball together, and she's been so great to teach me. And so then I also did a lesson here in Connecticut, and it's all the craze here. I mean, they're building indoor pickleball places here in Connecticut all over the place because we can't play outside all year round, or even in the summer we get rain and stuff. So it's called the Pickle Spot. I actually just got a text from them about an event they're having. And yeah, I mean, I think it's something. I was never especially good at sports. I was always the singer, dancer, actor in the family. But I think I can actually get good at this. I'm not good yet, but and it's fun to have an activity.
I want to try it. You just talked me into it. I really want to try it. I've heard, people keep talking about it, and I can't wait to try it. I heard it's a little bit like tennis, but more like maybe table tennis or like ping pong or something. What
but you're playing with your body, so it's not like I think I play because I have played tennis. I wasn't great at tennis either, but I played probably too much like tennis. So you can get into this really fast pace, which is maybe like the ping pong where you dink it back. And so it's really about more versus in tennis where you're really hitting it across. Like this is sometimes very rapid fire, which scares me. The ball's like coming right at me. And sometimes though, if I don't think too much, I just, hold up my racket and, I hit it back. So I'm getting better at it. So, but yeah, what's good about it is you can play pretty quickly. Like you may not play great, but you can hit it back and forth and have a game. Like you and I could play a game pretty quickly after just trying it, and it's fun and it's really fun.
So it's fun. What else makes you feel lit? Like what is it about pickleball?
Especially spending time with my sister. I just love and she's good. And we're like sisters. We're on the same team and we're just having so much fun spending time with her.
So
you play doubles. You do play doubles. So the scary part for me, and then I did this the first time with her. She took me to a couple of her pickle spots in Northern California. And the scary thing is playing with somebody you don't know.
Okay.
Because then you're with our partner and like you hope that you don't suck, and like ruin the game. And so she took me to this place and she said, sometimes they're kind of snobby there and they don't want to just play with like new people and especially people who may not be great players. And so we were sort of standing around trying to find people to play with, and Carla was right. This group, and what's supposed to happen is you end a game, and then the losers leave, and then two other players come on the court and play together, and you can mix it up, and you have different partners. So we're just sort of hanging around, and nobody was playing with us. And then these two guys who are obviously good players said, "Hey, we'll play with you guys." So I was on the team with one guy, and my sister was on the team with the other guy, and actually it was so sweet. My guy, it's sort of, I felt like it was like dancing. Like I played up and played so much better playing with another good player. And he was so nice to me. He was like, these are young guys. They're like in their late 20s or early 30s or something. And he was so sweet and like always giving me kudos and wanting to like, you smack or you kind of tap your paddles when you have a good shot. You like, tap your little paddle.
Now I know what to do.
Yeah. And so he was really encouraging. And I felt like, wow, I played a lot better playing with somebody, with good people. So I get it, why you don't want to play with newbies, but so we had a really good good time playing with them. And I'm very competitive. So I like winning.
All right.
So I have to get better at this. So I'll feel even more lit. But
when you come to California again, maybe we can play pickleball.
Yeah.
I would totally come to you. Yeah.
And just hitting a good shot. Like, I don't care about necessarily winning. I'm not that crazy person, but it's nice to hit a good shot and feel like, ooh, I hit it good, and learning something new. I love learning new things. So that's another, and being outside and I love exercise, or I just love being outside and moving my body, so that was, awesome. So it was really, really fun.
You are an inspiration for women to live an alcohol-free lifestyle. I'm so proud and impressed with you, Susan.
So are you. Oh my gosh.
We're doing it. And you guys are next, you listeners. So we are just sharing that life is so good, alcohol-free. I mean, it's still lifey. Stuff still happens to both of us. I mean, to everyone, but just, I can handle things better. I think that's the bottom line. I go to more hopeful thoughts more often, I think, is kind of one thing I do. Yeah.
Well, and one thing I forgot to mention that just reminded myself is everything that we just went over, about alcohol and exercise and food is this external evidence. So when your brain is telling you, oh, it's okay, I'm not that bad, I'm counteracting my drinking with exercise, the way that we turn those thoughts around, that's a subconscious thought, is by using evidence. And so this is external evidence that we've gone through. And then there's also the internal evidence, which is kind of the stuff where you feel your heart like have a little funky heartbeat, and you're kind of like, no, this probably isn't good for me. Like, you really do know in your knower that it's like not good to go work out hungover. So that's the process, right, of turning those thoughts around, is getting that external evidence and then going, wow, that really isn't true. So the next time your brain says that to you, your subconscious, you can go, that's not really true, because it starts to change that thought. But once I learned that you stop burning fat when you drank after exercise, I mean, it didn't stop me from drinking right away, but it was definitely a deterrent,
the seed was planted, I think. You and I are doing with the podcast too is planting seeds. Like, if people are just sober curious, or even gray area drinkers, we're planting seeds that you might want to think about things a little differently, see things differently, get the real truth, right? So for so long, alcohol's gotten this free pass, and we're bringing this out into the open, and I'll go back to the car, that, eating healthy foods is what you want to fuel your body, and that drinking alcohol is like putting that oil so it doesn't actually counteract anything. So anyway, what a great episode. It was so fun just to hang out with you, Susan. And so please join we're going to say it every time, please join our Facebook community.
Yes,
Feel It Alcohol Free.
It's so fun. I just let 2 new people in today, and I'm so excited. And and people are sharing their days and supporting each other on getting alcohol free in the Facebook group. So if you need support, that's the place to be, for sure.
And if you want to see our faces, go to the YouTube channel. So you can just listen, or you can watch, whatever you prefer. Okay. All right. I hope you are feeling lit today, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Feel Lit Alcohol Free Podcast. Do you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show?
All you need to do is head over to Apple Podcasts and do 2 simple things. Leave a rating and review telling us what you think of the show. And in that review, ask us any questions you have about breaking free from wine or living an alcohol-free lifestyle.
That's it. Then tune in to hear your question answered live. Don't forget to grab your copy of A Wine-Free Weekend at www.feelitpodcasts.com.
And remember, do something today that will help you feel lit.
See you next time.